live. Let me open the chat window so that I can see if you're there. Please write a comment so that I know if you're there, because that really helps me. Hey, what happened? I'm sorry. Oh, there we are. Yes. So let's talk about trauma and why trauma can make it so hard to just let go of behavior. Most of us have heard some coach or some person in our life tell us, "Oh, just let it go. It's been years ago. It's been in your childhood. Just let go of it." We've all heard that, right? Or we get angry with ourselves because somehow we feel that we should be able to let something go. When we talk about mindset, um, all coaches work on mindset, or most of them do. And then at a certain point, they're like, "Oh, well, you know what? This is your mindset right now. If you want to change it, just let it go." Now, why is it so hard to do that? And what is actually really going on underneath all that mindset stuff, right? The thing is this: a lot of the things that we think we should be able to change through sheer mindset, or that we should be able to change through just strategy or through shifting, adopting new beliefs, are actually rooted in trauma. Now, over the course of the past weeks, I've been talking to a lot of people about things that they think should be able to be solved with just a new strategy, or just some new way of working, or just, "Hey, you know what? Can you just teach me how to adopt this?" Because, for instance, we have this client who said, "All I need is just one disciplined hour a day, and I can't get myself there. Can you please teach me how to create discipline for just 1 hour a day?" And then we started looking at his first 7 years of his life, and we started looking at what happened there, how he was raised, how he was brought up. And he said, "I didn't have a traumatic childhood. I don't need to look at that," because he has parents that really deeply love him. He has had a beautiful childhood, and he said, "It's not that. It's me. It's not my parents. It's me. I am not being able to have this discipline." But then we started to look at it, and what we found is that his parents didn't have a lot of discipline. Or actually, they had a community where people would put their own beliefs and their own ways of living and their own values to the side, and they would start just doing what life expected them to do. Now, the interesting thing is, in my country, I live in the Netherlands, that is something we're proud of, right? You shouldn't be focusing on yourself. You shouldn't make yourself too tall or too big. You should just be able to do what's expected of you. And if you're good at that, then you can be proud. We pride ourselves over being able to do the things that are hard, do the things that are not that common, not that easy to do. But once we started to look into what was really going on underneath that surface, there was a huge loyalty and a huge part of him that wasn't seen. Now that is trauma. And we don't look at that like trauma. We look at that like, "Oh, come on, get over it. So you didn't get a lollipop when you were a child." It's not about the lollipop. It's about consistent feeling of not being allowed to use your voice, not being allowed to use your talents, not being allowed to speak up and be in a better place than your parents. Now, we can negate all of that, push through, but what then happens is that it gets stuck in our body. And that is actually what causes imposter syndrome. And that is actually what causes us to have the procrastination that everybody's talking about, right? "Oh, you know what? No, I don't need to fix my childhood. All I need to do is look at procrastination. All I need to do is not be scared anymore of people pulling out the rug. I have no reason to be scared. It's not logic." No, it's not. It's not logic. I agree. Trauma is not logic. And then we look at, "Well, you know what? I'll just do a hypnotherapy session so then I can install my new beliefs." But hypnotherapy, and I like a lot about it, but Hypnotherapy cannot change the amount of trauma that's still stuck in your nervous system. The thing is this developmental trauma is not belief in your head. It's a system in your body. And we can't change it by just shifting your beliefs because that's not the problem. The beliefs are the consequence of the trauma, but they're not causing the trauma. So what we need to do is we need to allow your body to know that it is safe right now. We need to allow your body, not just your mind, your physical body, to know that it's okay to feel all the things it's feeling. And that is something that is actually a process that takes time. And it doesn't take years. I mean, I'm 47, and the traumas I've been living with won't take another 47 years to heal. None of that takes as long as it took to build up. But it takes time because your autonomous nervous system first needs to not look at the trauma. It needs to build health. It needs to build resilience. It needs to build trust. And once we get to work on that trust and we get to work on health and a system inside your body, a felt sense of, okay, I can support myself. I am okay. I am the way I am. We need to work on self-love. We need to work on you trusting you. We need to work on an internal support system. And once we have that, then, only then, can your physical body, your autonomous nervous system, let go of the trauma symptoms. Now, this sounds like something that most people are like, oh my God, if it's that's going to take forever. I don't want to go that way. I just want more clients. And I get that. Or I just want to push myself to a different result. And I know I could do it. Yeah, I know you can too. But it's not the fact whether you can or you can't. It's the fact whether it's actually going to help you to be happier, to come from a place where you're really creating the freedom that you wanted to create. And freedom is not about trying to break down all the walls around us. It's about breaking down all the barriers inside of us that we have placed in between freedom and ourselves. Freedom is about looking at what prison have I built inside my body, inside my system. And once we have the healthy foundation where we can actually slowly let go of all of those triggers and all of those symptoms that are still inside of us, then you will not believe how beautiful life can be. But it will only get to that place where life can absolutely be as beautiful as you want it once you look into, hey, what's really going on underneath that? Now, business coaches, and I love business coaches, I have a lot of them, can help you with strategy, with marketing, with systems. And we might need that, we might not need that. But all of this will not help you break down those barriers. They will just try to push you over them. They will just try to push you through them. This is not something that needs pushing through. Even worse, that's probably what created the trauma in the first place. So before you start thinking about a new business coach or a new strategy or a new marketing thing that you need because you're just not able to get it to work for you, what we need to look at is, hey, on what foundation is this actually built inside of you? Because your energy is absolutely the thing that you should be spreading here in this world. You are an amazing and beautiful person. You have something that the world absolutely needs right now. And it can only ever come across if you start speaking and showing up from that internal place where you are whole, where you are present, where you're supported, where you feel enough, where you feel good enough, where you feel worthy. And no business in the world is going to create those feelings for you. You need to create those feelings inside of you and then build your business from there. And that is what we do in the Business Miracles Academy. Now, of course, that's a process of a year. But in a year, we can actually go through all these symptoms. We can heal all of these patterns. Only a year. And then you'll have that foundation inside of yourself. Now, trauma is a word that a lot of people think of, yeah, but I didn't have any trauma in my childhood. I had loving parents. I had a beautiful relationship with them. I had a very safe and happy childhood. Not all of you might think that, but some of you are deeply hurt by childhood, I know, but some of you might have a memory of your childhood looking at, there's not that many stories in there that were really bad. But it's not about the story. Developmental trauma is about very minor incidents stacking up on each other that create an overwhelm in your autonomous nervous system. And when that overwhelm doesn't get released, it will start ruining everything. It will start ruling your business. It will start controlling all your behavior. It will start controlling your relationships. It will start controlling how loved you feel. It will start controlling how independent and free you actually allow yourself to be. And it will even start controlling your relationship with money, the way you run your business, and whether you're able to implement certain strategies that people try to coach you on. So if things are not working for you, it doesn't mean you're not good enough. It doesn't mean you don't have the right energy or you don't have what it takes. It probably means that there is a foundational thing that we still need to heal. Now, if any of this makes sense to you, I really, please, absolutely want you to join me next week on March 22nd. I will be hosting a masterclass called Unlock Your Inner Power. And we'll talk about that. We'll go deep into how we create this developmental trauma, what kind of wounds and triggers it actually creates, and I'll tell you how you can get rid of them. We can't get rid of them in one masterclass, but it will create a lot of understanding and support for you. And it is an absolute beautiful first step. And after that, we can talk about if the academy might be something for you that you want to look into or not. That's all good. Please join me in the masterclass. If you have any questions about this, any insights, drop a comment and let me know if this video actually resonated with you, because there's a lot more we can say about this, but trauma healing is something we absolutely need to work on and work with as business owners. And it's not a popular topic because nobody wants to have trauma. We all want to have a flourishing, beautiful life and business, right? But once we heal these parts that are ruining it, actually all the things that you want are possible for you. I've worked with business owners who have had a business for 25 years of pushing, being angry at themselves, creating success, creating financial success, creating clients, but always feeling stuck, always feeling imprisoned in a certain way. And after a year of working with me, all of that's gone and they're happy. They create true freedom. And that is really possible. But you have to love yourself enough to want it. You have to love yourself enough to take the time to do what it takes and to go to those dark places that often we try to somehow hide from. So please come to the masterclass next week. That is where I will go deep into all these trauma triggers and all these things that we build up in childhood, and let's heal it. Because the world needs you. There's a war going on right now. And that war is causing triggers. It's causing trauma. But it's also one of these places that times in the world that we need as many healthy people as we can get. So let's all deal with all of these things so that we can show up as a beautiful source of peace and not add on to the whole stack of ugliness that's going on. Let's add to the layer of peace and create inner peace first. I hope I see you next week, and I can't wait to share all of this with you. Bye-bye.